All right, y'all, it's time to take these braids out. We're going to put some mini twists in it, no hair added. So this is in normal speed, and what I want you to see is that if your braid stroke is appropriate, you can separate the braid by simply separating the three legs and pulling, and it will unravel the braid up to a certain point. Either the point where you have balance the legs of the braid by sharing hair, or the point where you added hair to the braid, or the point where your natural hair ends. Because your natural hair and the synthetic hair or whatever hair you've added are different textures, that's the reason why it will stop at those different points. But that is the quick way to do it without a comb or a unbraiding tool or any other tool. Once you get to the point where you can no longer pull it apart, you can just slide your finger down the middle and just separate those braids. And that makes it easy peasy, no tangling of your natural hair. And then you want to remove any dirt, shed hair, gunk, or what have you from the root, and then detangle your hair the way you normally would. You should have some coming out when you detangle because you have not been combing your hair, obviously. But if you do it that way, you will not break your hair in addition to the natural normal shed hair. Here it is again in 5x speed. I had these braids in for 7 weeks, almost 8. And they were up in the bun the entire time because if you remember, I had cornrows in the middle. It was definitely time to take them out because with me working out and sweating in my scalp, the cornrows take forever to dry and that hair is always wet. You'll notice that before I go in with my comb or my detangler, I always separate the root with my fingers first. I like to detangle the last braid and then incorporate it with the hair from the previous braid. And then you go on to the next one. And here's one from the front, giving you a better view. I added boho pieces to these braids, so to remove them, I just cut them where they were sticking out of the braid. And so you'll see the little piece that was left in the braid come out right there. And you'll see that when I detangle the root, I do not pull the comb brush from root to ends. I simply just dislodge any dirt or loose hair that might be trapped at the root and then detangle normally. So I started this process at 1:30 and I want to see how long it takes. It shouldn't take that long because I only had 3 rows of braids in the back and 4 rows on each side. So time check here is 3 p.m. We started at 1:30. We have the whole back and one side out. All we have is the side left and this big jumbo cornrow. So I'm going to go ahead and take that big jumbo cornrow out. It took like forever to get this cornrow out because my hair was soaking wet. I worked out earlier in the day and like I said, that middle part was not dry. And so by cornrolling the middle, I removed a huge part of the density of the bun, right? I removed the possibility for the bun to be but so big. Like my hair is soaking wet in the middle. Like I washed it wet. You see the difference in the texture of the hair that was in the other braids and the texture of the hair that was in the cornrows because the hair is soaking wet. Like it's been washed. And it smelled like feet. I'm gonna just be honest. I'm not gonna lie to you. It definitely smelled like feet. Oh, so we're gonna detangle this. And obviously because it was cornrows, we are starting completely from the bottom. We're not detangling at the root first because there isn't anything to detangle at the root. There was no added hair, and it was a cornrow, not a box braid. So obviously, when you have cornrows, you don't have that dirt clump at the root or at the knot where the braid starts, and you still have shed hair, but the shed hair is going to be all throughout the braid and not concentrated at the point where the braid was begun because it's cornrows. So I'm just going to detangle it, even though this section is wet. I don't want it to mat on me in the shower. So because it was wet and because it was a cornrow, in order to really detangle it, I ended up having to split this section into like 4 sections so that I wasn't detangling sections that were too large. It was just crazy. And then I plaited 4 large sections so that the hair would remain detangled because I did not want it to mat up. And so that's what we got from that middle. That's dead shed hair from that big clump. So it is 3:30 and we are going to take about a 15-minute break. So we started at 1:30. We went 2 hours, no break, and this is all we have left. And yes, we still gonna take a break because when we finish with this part, we are going to jump into the shower and get to washing it anyway. So yeah, break time. Okay, so we are finished. Started at 1:30, went all the way to 3:30, took a break. While I was downstairs for my break, I went ahead and took out all of the braids from this side and forgot my little tool. So I just finger detangled the roots and it took me about 30 minutes. So it is almost 4:30 because I started back at 4, I want to say. Well, a little bit after 4. So we're just going to round up and say it took us 2.5 hours to take out all the braids with detangling time. And even while making parts of this video. So now that all of the braids were out, it was time to get ready for phases 2 and 3, washing and styling. But first, and yes, I pluck all the gray hairs that I can find. If I could see it, it got to go.